busy does not equal strong. Overworking does not equal powerful. Sometimes it equals dysregulated. When you're averaging 4 to 6 hours of sleep, running on caffeine and adrenaline, your nervous system is in a constant fight or flight state. You're snapping quicker. You're impatient. You're overstimulated. You're tired. And guess who feels that the most? Your children, your coworkers at work, and your body definitely feels that. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Good day, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Break the Cycles. I'm your host, Alicia Cherie. And if you listened to the previous episodes, you already understand the intention behind this space. We are here to break toxic and generational cycles. And the truth is that work does not start with confronting other people. It starts with taking care of you. So today we're talking about something that sounds simple, but is actually foundational: self-care. And not the aesthetic version, not bubble baths and spa days. No, I'm talking about the kind of self-care that regulates your nervous system so your body even feels safe enough to heal. Before you enter deep healing work, before you unpack all the trauma, before you try to meditate your way into peace, you have to nourish your body and calm your nervous system. There is no way around it. So let me be honest with you. There was a season in my life where self-care didn't exist, not even a little bit. As a career-driven mom, I felt needed everywhere: at work, at home, in school, in life. I worked an 8-to-5 job. I was enrolled in my bachelor's degree program. I was building certifications. I was raising my daughter, and I was determined to break financial cycles. And I did. Because I always took on a challenge. But what people don't see is what that cost me. I got praised. I got the promotions. I got the certs. I got the degrees. I got the money, but at a cost. So I would pick my daughter up from daycare. We'd eat together, spend a few hours together. I'd get her ready for bed. And then my mom would take her for the night so I could focus on my schoolwork. And I would stay up until midnight, sometimes 2 a.m., then wake up at 6 a.m. and do it all over again. And that's not even including the things that happen in between, right? The unexpected events, the car breakdowns, the doctor appointments, the emotional stress, unexpected life events. And at the time, I was like, I got this. I'm strong. I'm independent. I'm Superwoman. But deep down, I was exhausted, mentally, emotionally, physically. And when I look back now, I ask myself something I wish I had asked then. Was I building success, or was I building burnout? Let's talk about why this happens, because I know I'm not the only one who was an over-functioning woman. It happens. But why do so many women believe self-care is selfish? Because that's the cultural lie we inherited. We were conditioned to believe that sacrifice equals virtue. I know, I grew up watching it. On my dad's side, my grandmother was born and raised in Japan. She married my grandfather when he was active duty Navy and moved to the U.S. She left everything she knew, her culture, her family, her background, and she came to the U.S. And it wasn't a regular marriage. It seemed very contracted to me, but she came here to actually build a life, and she did. She was a nurse. She worked 12-hour shifts, and then she would come home, cook, clean, iron clothes, hand wash them, because she didn't even believe in using washer machines, prepare meals for the next day, and cater to a man who barely lifted a finger. Yeah, he did his service, and thank you for that. After that, he just sat on the couch and smoked his cigarettes and drank his beer, and she would serve, and she did it humbly. But just because someone does something humbly doesn't mean it's healthy. I watched women give until they were empty, and that blueprint stayed. Now, fast forward to today, both partners work in most households, but culturally, the emotional and domestic labor still leans heavily on the woman. Why? Women work all day, come home, cook, clean, tend to the kids, go to sleep, wake up, repeat. And where in there do you breathe? Do you take a moment for yourself? Do you have a moment of silence? Where do you have time to move your body, gather your thoughts? Let me say something that might make some of you uncomfortable. Busy does not equal strong. Overworking does not equal powerful. Sometimes it equals dysregulated. When you're averaging 4 to 6 hours of sleep, running on caffeine and adrenaline, your nervous system is in a constant fight or flight state. You're snapping quicker. You're impatient. You're overstimulated. You're tired. And guess who feels that the most? Your children, your coworkers at work, and your body definitely feels that. Your body feels it first. And here's the hidden truth. I broke financial cycles during that time, but I for damn sure wasn't at peace. I was so far from it. Hey there, sis. If you've been noticing the same emotional patterns repeating, feeling disconnected from yourself, or sensing that something within you is ready to rise, I want to invite you into something sacred. At the end of March, I'm hosting a live 3-day virtual workshop called Awaken Your Highest Self. It's designed to help you build awareness of the cycles holding you back, regulate your energy, and step into deeper alignment with who you're becoming. This isn't about fixing yourself. It's about remembering who you are. You can learn more and join us at aliciacherie.com, ALISHASHERI.com. I would love to hold this space with you. Now, let's talk about the ego, because the ego does have a play in this. And in this case, the ego is the enemy. Because when you come from a background of overfunctioning, you're career driven, you're focused, you're independent, right? Those type of things make your ego talk to you even more. It tells you, don't rest. You'll fall behind. You can't afford to slow down now. If you stop, everything falls apart. And because we've been the responsible one for so long, that voice feels normal. That's usually what keeps us going. But it's also that voice that is keeping you in survival mode. Because real strength is knowing when to pause. Real power is choosing compassion for yourself instead of performance. So let's bring it back to biology for a second. Your nervous system is your body's safety detector, whether you feel calm, anxious, shut down, or on the edge. Most of us are cycling through these different states. First one is fight or flight state. And this is where you're completely stressed out. You're overworking, you're overthinking, you're overstimulated. You can't even get through one task without thinking of the next and everything in between. And then sometimes when you stay in that state so long, you get to a point where you just freeze. That's the next state, freeze. You're so overwhelmed, overstimulated, your body just goes into shock and it's numb. You're stuck, completely disassociated. You got so many things to do, but you literally just sitting on the couch looking at your phone or doing anything you can to just stay stuck. And then the next state is fawn. And a lot of us stay in fawn because it's people pleasing. And when we're overfunctioning, overworking, overstimulated, people pleasing feels good to us because we're doing something good for others. But we're also neglecting ourselves in doing so. And when your nervous system is dysregulated, your body is in survival mode. And here's a part people skip. When you are in survival mode, your body cannot process trauma. Cannot. It cannot release those stuck emotions. It cannot access deep healing. That's why some people say meditation doesn't work for me. It's not the meditation that doesn't work. It's that your nervous system hasn't been regulated yet. Healing requires safety, and safety starts in the body. And that's where it all starts. You can't have a dysregulated nervous system and expect to get into different levels of consciousness. That's why your mind isn't quiet. And I hear it all the time. I can't meditate. My mind keeps racing. That's actually why you need to meditate. And of course, it's not going to feel natural. That's why they call it a practice. You practice it until you get comfortable with it. Now, let me flip the script for you. When you put gas in your car, do you call it selfish? No, you call it smart. Your body requires the same maintenance. Self-care is not indulgence. It is maintenance. And when you care for yourself, you expand your capacity to care for others. I'm going to say that again. When I care for me, I expand my capacity to care for those I love. Read that slowly. Let it sit. So I'm going to break this down even more simple for you, because when I started my healing journey, I simplified self-care into 3 pillars. The first one is rest, and I tie in meditation, breath work, and silence here. 5 to 10 minutes a day can shift your nervous system from chaos to calm. That's all it takes. That's it. And like I said earlier, meditation is a practice. It's not going to feel comfortable until you start doing it. And the easiest way to start doing something and make it stick is to start slowly. Don't think about where you want to go and where you're trying to go. Think about how to meet yourself where you are now. And that usually is starting maybe twice a week, 3 times a week for a max of 10 minutes until you get more comfortable. And then you go from the 2 to 3 times a week to 5 times a week. And then before you know it, it just comes natural. It's something that is now part of your lifestyle. That's how it works. Second one is nourishment. What you eat affects your stress hormones. Sugar spikes cortisol. Greasy processed foods increase inflammation. Your body needs support, not just stimulation. So what you put in your mouth is how you're going to feel afterwards. And I'm not going to lie, it took me years to get a balance on my nutrition and my diet. I'm a Hispanic. I grew up eating all types of tasty food. But once you start shifting, balancing, and eating grounding foods, you start to appreciate. They might have a lack of taste compared to all the other good stuff that you're calling good. That's really bad. But the way it makes you feel, makes you sleep better. It helps you digest your food better. It makes your belly feel better. It makes your body move better. Like everything is just better. So you need a balance. Not saying go full health freak, but have a balance. Third one is rituals. And I tie Reiki, grounding, and journaling into rituals. Grounding means bare feet in the grass, bare feet on the beach sand, hugging a tree. My favorite one is almost hugging the tree nowadays. I literally go outside and hug my tree, and my neighbors probably think I'm crazy, but I don't care. Journaling means releasing what's stuck instead of holding it in your chest. So when I talk about journaling, I'm talking about expressing yourself. It's easier to express yourself when you write it down. And sometimes if you're holding on to emotions or grudges from other people or things that other people have done to you, it's helpful to write a letter to them and get it out. You don't have to give it to them. You don't have to read it to them, but just writing it out very grounding. And Reiki was actually one of the first things that helped me move stagnant energy in my body. It was like the jump start to everything. And a lot of people are kind of weary with Reiki, but it's honestly amazing. And if you're not familiar with Reiki, join my monthly meetup group. Right now it's for women, but if you ever have questions on Reiki, feel free to go to my website and just contact me because I think it's something that a lot of people are uneducated on or misinterpret, and it's a huge benefit to moving that stagnant energy in your body. It's like the best relief ever. So these practices tell your nervous system you're safe now, and that is the goal, is to make yourself safe and to calm your nervous system. I know some of you are thinking, okay, but how do I fit this in? Like, how do I make time for this, Alicia? Well, you start small, like I said, right? Baby steps. Meet yourself where you are. Don't try to meet yourself where you're trying to go. And starting small sometimes means you just need to organize a little bit. And again, if you haven't got a journal, get a journal because that's where all your organization will happen. For instance, one way that helped me just even make time for myself was creating a morning routine and an evening routine. So in your journal, you can create a simple morning routine, and this is a routine that is for you. This isn't getting the kids ready, cooking breakfast for your spouse or whatever. This is your time, your me time. So if you have kids and you need to wake up earlier in the morning just to have this routine, do it. That's what I did. And it doesn't take much. It's like 20 minutes. So something simple could look like a 5-minute morning meditation, followed by a 5-minute journal session. Then maybe you want to do some body movement like a stretch or yoga, 10, 15 minutes. Then maybe sit outside or just sit in a room, drink some tea, coffee or cacao, whatever it is that you drink in the morning. And if you're not really into meditation, it's really doesn't need to be a whole presentation. Like the way I started, I would just grab my phone instead of going to social media. I would grab my phone in the morning and just go straight to YouTube and pick out a morning meditation, 10 minutes max. Boom. It was amazing. It's a game changer. And an evening routine may look like after dinner, right? After dinner with your family, because it doesn't start there. It may start with reading a book, doing some more journaling and reflection. Maybe you go on an evening walk. Maybe you just sit outside, do some grounding, take a bath, and then do sleep meditation. And again, this doesn't have to be guided, but you can also find like vibrations and frequencies. And I honestly played those all night. Some of them have like 12 hours. It just plays all night until you wake up and turn it off. So it actually soothes me and helps me go to sleep and stay asleep all night. And that's it. It's not about perfection here. It's about consistency. So start small and just keep going at it. If this conversation resonated and you want a space to explore this work in real time, I host a monthly virtual women's group called Healing After Toxic Cycles. Each month, we focus on a different topic from inner child healing to nervous system regulation, boundaries, self-trust, and energy work. So there's always something new to explore. It's a grounded, pressure-free space for learning, reflection, and connection. If it feels aligned, you're welcome to join us. The link is in the show notes. So next, I just want to leave you with some journal prompts because that's my thing. I think journaling is so important. And if these prompts resonate with you, then write them down or come back to this later where you are doing your night routine and reflect on it and see what comes up. So first one is, where am I most depleted? Second one, what would change if I chose myself first? It's a good one. Third one, where is my ego pushing me to overwork? Fourth one, how can I show myself compassion today? Mm, compassion, so important. I can't stress that enough. You have to be kind to yourself, and you have to be grateful for how far you came. Even if it's just starting on this podcast, the fact that you're taking time to listen is a step. So give yourself credit for that. Take these journaling prompts, write them down, date them if you do put them in your journal, because it's very nice and refreshing to track your growth in your journal. I actually just pulled a journal out not too long ago from like 4 years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was reading it and I was like, wow. The things I was right, it was right after my divorce, and I was like, I can't believe I was actually in this state of mind. I can't believe I was in this situation. And it's just nice to see how far you came and give yourself a pat on the back and be grateful that the good things have transpired in your life. So track your growth. Next, I'm just going to leave you here with this affirmation. If these affirmations resonate, write it down, put it somewhere you see every day, first thing when you wake up. Caring for myself is the foundation of my healing. Caring for myself is the foundation of my healing. And say it until your body believes it. If this episode resonated, let this be your permission slip, not to abandon your responsibilities, but to stop abandoning yourself. Healing does not start with digging up trauma. It starts with regulating your nervous system. It starts with rest. It starts with safety. And remember, you are not alone. In the next episode, we're going to talk about how fueling your body frees your energy. Until then, take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.